Tonight we have a very special guest. Before I get to that, though, it's Thanksgiving week. And so not only do I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving to you and your families, and hope you have a wonderful week this week with them, but I do want to do a kind of an Arbonne thank you, and a Thanksgiving to Arbonne, because it's the opportunity that we've all come to one way or another. You could be a guest here tonight. You could be a spouse or a significant other of someone that's working the business, or indeed you could be an independent consultant and working the business. But we all came to this place at this time for similar reasons, and it is so that we can have time freedom and financial freedom for ourselves and for our families. And I just want to say thank you to our corporate leadership. I'm just going to call her KZ from now on. KZ is a tremendous CEO. Dr. Matravers, we all know, those that know him, the wacky doctor, is just a great person to have on our team. Mike D'Arminio as well from the corporate office. You know, our upline, my upline, ours, Dinah and mine, upline, Jeanette Homer, Rochelle Rodriguez, Claire Risoli, Jill Kay, Linda Huntington. These are all folks that have been instrumental in our success, as well as our downline. And I'm not going to name everybody there. There's too many people to name. But to all of you, we love you, and thank you for all the help and inspiration and things that you've done for us. And not to leave out a thanks for our products, the RE9 and the nutrition set that is so appealing to so many people. We're thankful for that. We're thankful for Taiwan and New Zealand and Poland and the global expansion, and to give us an opportunity to run a global business literally from your laptop and your phone, when your laptop works anyway. So I'm thankful to all of that. And I want to turn it over to a special guest tonight, a gentleman by the name of Ryan Templeman. He and his wife, Tony Ann, are ERVPs, or are we NVPs yet?
We are ENVPs.
ENVPs. Okay, good. Yeah, that's great. And, you know, and I asked Ryan to come on because, you know, his story is a little bit different, as all of ours is. And I hope those of you that come to our men's Zoom often really love listening to different points of view. And Ryan's a little different. His background's a little different than what we may have heard or seen, but obviously very successful. And with that, let me thank you, Ryan, for being here. Let me ask you to share a little bit of your story, and then we'll do a very quick DA tonight.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Want to make sure. And I'm in our bedroom right now, so the lights, it looks kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of a fog, but anyways, Peter, thank you. You contacted me a while ago to be on this call, and I love this company, and I just love telling our story, but I also like to share, you know, obviously from a husband or just a men's perspective of how this business can be impactful for not only you, but your family and friends. So, so thank you. And thank you all for listening. And it's like 20 of you or something like that. So this is awesome. So anyways, my story is, I don't want to say it's different, unique, but I guess everyone, like Peter said, everyone does have a story. So my wife and my wife Tony, our background is education. We were both high school teachers. That's how we met. We were teaching at rival high schools, and we got introduced by some friends. This is years ago. So anyways, we were both teaching, and we both coach high school sports as well. She's a volleyball coach. I was a high school baseball coach, and we were loving life. We loved teaching, and we're like, this is what we're doing forever. And then a couple of years ago, it was February of 2014, one of Tony's colleagues at her school said, hey, would you mind hosting an Arbonne party for me? You know, you get some products, get discount, whatever. And Tony was actually interested because she actually had used Arbonne products since college. Her mom used to be a wholesale buyer back in the early 2000s. And Tony was using these products, and she really didn't even know what they were. It's like, hey, mom sent them to me in a care package. So Tony technically had been using Arbonne products for quite a while. So, and if I sniffle, I'm sorry. I'm coming off a cold. I got little kids, so I apologize to everyone. I don't want people to be grossed out. Anyways, But so she came to me and said, "Hey, I'm going to host a party, whatever, Tuesday or Thursday night." And I had actually moved into school administration. So I taught for 11 years, and then I went back and got my master's. I'd always wanted to at least I always thought I always wanted to be a school administrator. And so I moved into administration, and it was my first year as a vice principal, where most of my days I came home just wanting to eat and go to bed because I was exhausted, just mentally drained. So the day of she hosted an event for a friend, I made the mistake of thinking that I'm like, why are you hosting a party for a cold prevention medicine? Because I was confused with airborne. That was just the tired husband who wasn't really, paying attention, just saying, oh, okay, yeah, sure, sounds good. So anyway, she had to explain to me what it was. I was with our kids that night in our bedroom, they were 2 and 3 at the time, and trying to keep them quiet while this demonstration went on. And after the demonstration, Tony came up to me and just said, "Hey, I want to do this business." And I'm like, okay. Yeah, again, kind of blurry, just kind of exhausted from the day. And my only concern was how much is it going to cost to start? Because at the time, like most people, there's credit card debt. We had just bought a home, and I was kind of worried about taking on something new, especially with me taking on a new job, which took a lot of time. And she said $79. I'm like, well, okay, if it doesn't work out, then obviously we're out $80, big deal. So that was in February 2014. And fast forward to June 2014. So really, she started her business in March. Tony became a regional vice president in June of 2014. So after 4 months, she went to the third level of the company. She went area she went area qual in her first month, and then finished area in April, went region qual in May, and then finished in June. That took a lot of organizing and planning on both of our part. When we talk to people, we like to share, it was kind of crazy in a sense. Like, I'd get home and it was kind of a high five. All right, see you, Ryan, I'll be back, because she was going to do a demo. But we actually were pretty smart as far as we were very planned out as far as calendaring everything, just making sure that we reserved, the occasional date night, so that we can actually talk to one another about something other than work or whatever. But so it wasn't crazy at all for us. It also went by so fast. So, had we done that pace for like 2 years, it might have been a little chaotic and might have kind of done some stuff to our marriage, whatever. But the fact that we were we communicated with one another. We saw each other's calendars as far as when I had an event, okay, maybe she can't have a demo that night, and vice versa. So, anyways, that went really fast, and obviously very appreciative. And I got on board right away because of her why. Her why was for us. Her why wasn't for, her to get out and have some fun, her to have some spending money. It was to help the family get out of debt. It was to, build a business, which is something in education you don't have the opportunity to do. And I fully supported her. How could I not support, my wife for wanting to do something that's going to help not just her, but our entire family? And so, not to do a shameless plug, but I did do a call a couple months ago on her SoundCloud about being a supportive husband, because I've run it. I mean, for those people that have spoken with people, husbands or boyfriends or whatever, that have been kind of unsupportive for various reasons like, well, I have to watch the kids. I have to, it's like, well, they're your own kids. So anyways, I was fully supportive because Tony was doing it for us. And so it made perfect sense to me. So anyways, fast forward, sorry, I'm going to talk forever, but so that was in June. She became a regional vice president. Very exciting. Our paychecks were very nice. Her paycheck actually was more than what she was making as a teacher, a lot more. I think they were twice as much as what she was making as a teacher at the time. So obviously I was grateful. But I remember her first GTC in the middle of that April 2014, she stood up in front of our upline. We have Wendy Cunningham, Kirsten Costello. We have a pretty awesome upline, and we're all near each other as well, so we're pretty connected. But I remember at GTC, they had a lunch, and Tony stood up and told everyone that she was going to be a national vice president in 1 year. And a couple people snickered and laughed, like, okay, whatever. Well, she did that. So March 31st, April 1st of 2015, Tony became a national vice president. So she had done that in 12 months, which is pretty awesome. But again, that took a lot of planning. organizing, finding some good teammates. And not to say, I'm going to say that I'm her best teammate ever. But so my role at first was basically being a setup guy. I like to liken it to baseball. I was a Mike Stanton and she was a Mariano Rivera. I would introduce people to the business, and it was a little awkward to talk to. Like when I was a vice principal, I couldn't really talk to my teachers about Arbonne. That's kind of a conflict of interest and just weird. But if someone asked me, because I would always drink the tea, I'd make fizz sticks in the office, and someone asked me about it, then I would be more than happy to talk to them about it. So I knew enough about the business, but I also didn't have an idea at that time. And so I would always pass them to Tony, and she would technically close the deal or, kind of teach them about the business and get them involved. So I actually signed up in October of 2014, and I became an area manager after a couple months. I found a few teammates my first week, and one of those teammates is being Kim Furman, who that's the reason why we're now an ENVP. She went national vice president in October. Kim and I were high school friends. We went to junior prom together, and we actually worked together. We've just been really good friends for a long time. And so Kim was my first teammate, and now she's been, one of the biggest reasons why our team has been so successful is because of what she's done in this business. We ended up, so I was in administration. I worked 15 minutes from home, and I never saw our kids. On Monday mornings, I would say bye to them, and then I wouldn't see them until Friday because I had night supervisions pretty much every night, whether it's a sporting event or there's a counseling event or whatever it was. I was gone a lot. And so after my second year, I talked to Tony and just said, hey, I don't know if I could keep doing this. Like, I don't see myself doing this for another 30 years. And she said, well, why keep doing it? And you just kind of like that simple thing, like, why didn't someone say this to me earlier? But that makes perfect sense. Luckily, I had a backup plan. A lot of people are in jobs that are like, I hate my job. I'm just going to go to work. I'm going to work till I'm 55, 60, whatever. And they're miserable. And I couldn't see myself doing that. And so I am thankful for Arbonne, and I'm thankful for what my wife was able to do with Arbonne. It allowed me to step away from being an administrator last school year. And so I'm full-time working with Tony, which has been amazing. I get to take my kids to school every day. I get to pick them up. I get to coach. Coaching Little League. I'm coaching soccer. I wanted to put on my Arbonne business card, professional Little League coach. That's just something that I've always wanted to do. And when I actually moved into administration, my first principal said, hey, if you want to ever coach your kids or be involved, this is not the job for you. And it's kind of funny because that job, you work with kids, but you spend more time with other people's kids than your own kids. And I wasn't going to do that for the rest of my life. And so February 2016, it was my last day as administrator, February 12th. And so I've been home since then. I'm on a leave of absence right now. So if I do want to go back and teach, I was a social studies teacher. If I do want to go back and teach, I have that ability to do so. But right now I'm really enjoying this ride. Tony and I, so we incorporated, we're an S Corp, which is, that doesn't matter for Arbonne, but that does matter because we wanted to be a partnership. So our name in Arbonne technically is Tony and Ryan Templeman. We really like the idea of promoting a couple's business. We like the idea of promoting a man being involved in a business like this. There's a lot of products that I focus on when I talk to people. There's some that I obviously don't. I don't talk to my friends about makeup. I talk about nutrition. I do talk about skincare. And so, Tony and I both say we're not experts in every single product because there's almost 500 of them, but we are passionate about quite a few. And so when we usually do meetups or Discover Arbonnes or demos, those are the things that we typically focus on. And so I really like being involved because I get to work with my wife. I get to be a dad and hang out with my kids. And I get to, we're still teaching people. We're still educating. And so that's something, we grew up wanting to do when we were in the classroom, and now technically we get to do it. Tony likes to say that she's unemployable, like she'll never go work for anyone again because she loves being her own boss, and that's obviously one of the benefits of being an Arbonne independent consultant is you get to be your own boss. So anyways, rambling, sorry about that, but that's just a little background of what Tony and I are doing. It's been almost 3 years we've been involved. It's changed our life. It's, Arbonne's like a third child to us. It's something that we're always talking about our kids, and we're always talking about Arbonne, but we're super proud to be involved in this business. It's a business that does so much for its consultants, and it's a company that does a lot for the community as well. And one thing that I've been involved in the last year is the Arbonne Charitable Foundation. And so myself and ENVP Kirsten Costello, her husband Matt, and I organized a golf tournament last summer, which the funds went towards the Arbonne Charitable Foundation. And it was a great turnout, and we want to continue doing stuff like that. It's another way to get the name out about Arbonne, because the company only does have, it has 1% brand awareness. And so, obviously we're using it as a way to, to raise money for the charity, but it's also an awareness thing because there are people that play that don't know anything about the company. So we're trying all different things in order as far as to spread the word about the company, and we're very proud. So we do have one thing I will kind of move into, because I know there's some people that might be guests or new, and there might be some people that actually have heard this before. So I won't go too in depth, but I don't know, Peter, at the end, if there's questions, I'm more than happy to take them. So anyways, in our DAs, we focus on 4 areas of belief. And the first is the belief in this company. It's a 36-year-old company. It started in 1980. It's botanically based. It's, pure, safe, beneficial. Pure because it's botanically based. Safe, no harmful ingredients. And beneficial because the stuff works. When we started our business, we obviously didn't Arbonize our entire house, so we like to say, but we bought a couple things. We did the 30 Days to Healthy Living the first month. I told Tony, if you're going to be selling this stuff, you should be able to provide testimony to how it helps us. And so in the first month, or that month, I lost 15 pounds doing the healthy living program. Tony she doesn't have much weight to lose anyways, but I think she lost like 5 pounds. Felt better. I wasn't falling asleep before my kids. I'd always put my kids to sleep, but I would always fall asleep. And then, Tony might come home from a demo and I'm passed out in my son's bed and he's still playing. So that wasn't a good thing to have a conversation about after the fact. So I actually had energy. And then we also bought the baby line for our kids. My son had some eczema that was on his body, on his face. He always had rashes. And so we bought the baby line, and immediately we saw amazing results. And so that made us real, big believers. And instead of, we were trying everything at Target, buying all these different products, and nothing was really working. And then also we tried this and boom, gone. We're like, okay, we're a believer because it's our kids, these stuff that we're putting in our body, we also have to look at our kids. We don't want to, put anything that could be harmful to our kids. And so it made so much sense for us to really buy into the Arbonne products. The second, and that kind of leads into our second belief, is obviously the belief in the products, the ingredient policy, the fact that we adhere to the European Union, their standards. In the United States, I think there's 11 chemicals that are banned by the FDA. In Europe, there's 1,400, and Arbonne adheres to the European Union, which makes us feel, especially as parents, makes us feel good, knowing that our kids right now and as they get older, because they're drinking the protein. My daughter, she's 4, she's using the makeup when we're not looking, but eventually she'll be using it. And so it just makes us feel good as parents that they're going to be using products that are going to be beneficial to them. Vegan certified, there's no GMOs, no gluten, no artificial fragrances or dyes, and the fact they're premium products. You could buy like the RE9 set. That set can last 6 months. People might look at the price like, ooh, I don't know, but that lasts you 6 months. Instead of you going to Target and buying something every single month that's not really working, you have a premium product with no fillers. You don't even have to use a lot of it. You just use a little bit of the squeeze, and it lasts a long time. And so, and with 36 years of evidence and just this philosophy of pure, safe, and beneficial, Arbonne has the ability to back up everything that they're providing for people. And so, let's see what else. Oh, another thing too, what we really like about Arbonne, because sometimes when we host events, I'm sure many people out there, you've hosted events and someone from a different network marketing company might be a guest, or you just run into people because, especially on Facebook or social media, you see like all of a sudden all your friends like, wait, they're involved in this company? What? And Arbonne, it's consumable. The first day of the month, I track our numbers on a spreadsheet, which I'm sure a lot of people do as well. track your daily numbers. We track our Central Nation, our Success Line, and our sponsoring every single day, so that I can go back and compare years and days and weeks and stuff like that. But on day one, every single month, it's a huge boost in volume because everyone's ordering their protein, everyone's ordering their fit shoes, everyone's ordering their Digestion Plus, everyone's ordering their Fit Sticks. So it's consumable products. It's not a piece of jewelry that you might buy once a year or something like that. And so there are other companies out there. If people that are watching this are considering different companies, from a business standpoint, you're going to have customers or clients that are going to be buying over and over again, and you're not even going to have to bug them about it. It's just something that's going to be, they're just going to do anyways. And so, I do like the fact that we have over 450 products. There's something for everyone. It's not just makeup. It's not just this. We were at the MVP Forum last July in Dana Point, so in Orange County. And all the Arbonne MVPs were at this hotel. And we're kind of, up near the bar. And there's a couple guys there. They must have been there for work. And they saw some people with Arbonne stuff. And they're like, what is Arbonne? And I could hear them like, oh, it's some French makeup company. So there's a lot of people that still don't know what we offer. And I actually talked to them about what we actually do and what we offer. But it's just funny that, people still don't understand what the company does. And they do get it confused with other companies like I did when we first started. So anyways, our next belief is just the belief in this type of industry, network marketing. When Tony started, I obviously had reservations because it's a different business model. I incorrectly assumed it to be a certain shape that these companies are associated with. However, the fact that you don't get paid based on exactly perfect. You don't get paid based on signing people up. You get paid based on sales and volume. And we had an event at our house last week where someone brought a guest who was actually from another company and was asking, wait, you guys don't get paid based on just signing? If you sign me up, you don't get paid? No, we have to train you to sell. And so anyways, I had to do my research. The first thing I read was GoPro by Eric Worre. I think that's kind of the Bible for network marketing as far as understanding the industry and understanding how to do it as a consultant, regardless of what company you're part of. That was a very quick read. Read that in about 2 hours, and I've read it multiple times. And it's got highlighted and all that stuff because I always refer to it. And so I had to do some research. And one of my big concerns at first was, honestly, as lame as this sounds or high schoolish as it sounds, when I used to work in a high school, is I was afraid that our friends were going to think we're weird. Pretty simple. I'm like, yeah, people are going to think we're weird. We're doing this company. And we had a couple friends that were. And it got to the point where we're kind of like, you know what? Who cares? We're trying to do something for our family. We're trying to build a legacy for our kids. Who cares what people think? And so we really got over that quickly. But it's definitely one of the things, is a reservation in my head at first. Because I was afraid of losing friends. And then it just shows well, they're not real friends if they're not really supportive of anything you do. So anyways, like I said, we get paid to teach people how to do the business. What we really like about Arbonne, and the revenue is 50% of the money that Arbonne makes goes into research and development. It goes into the products. Network marketing, you basically start from the manufacturer for the warehouse. It goes right to the consumer. You don't have all these different links in the chain, all these different people getting a piece of the pie before it ends up at Target, before it ends up at Walmart. We don't have George Clooney doing a voiceover for a commercial. We don't, which is probably gets hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million, to do a voiceover for an airline company or something like that. There's all these pieces in a typical business model that Arbonne just kind of says, or network marketing in general says, nope, we're just going to do it this way. We're going to reward our consultants, the people that are actually out there on the front lines that are selling our stuff, and we're going to put the money into our products. I like to say, and I said this at a meeting last week, and I noticed that some of the people in our meeting were a little younger, but I said, Al Bundy from Married with Children probably would have been a better shoe salesman had he been a female and had he actually liked women's shoes. Arbonne, we actually use the products. We love the products, so it makes sense in this type of industry for us to be able to speak to the products because we see the benefits and we actually love them. And so there are a lot of people in sales jobs where they're selling something that they actually don't use, and they're, technically they're kind of lying about it. They're just saying, oh yeah, this is a great thing. And so my Al Bundy joke, it does make sense if you've seen the show and know who I'm talking about. But that's the cool thing about just this type of industry is that you do have people who are talking to you about products they actually use and actually love. Another thing too, obviously, is the compensation plan. Obviously when you look at it, it gets updated every year or so, but even a district manager, when you can make about, $500, just say for example, per month, that's a car payment. I had an area manager under me who she said her goal is not to go to the top. I'm like, okay, it's whatever you want to put into it. If you want to put 10 hours a week, 5 hours a week, whatever it is, whatever your goal is. She goes, I just want to make a car payment. I want the products, but I just want to make a car payment. And so she ended up making between $500 and $700 a month as a district manager. And then she went up to area, and then she's making between $1,000 and $4,000 a month. Very good money. And so people are going to have different goals. But anyways, the compensation plan is something that definitely, to Tony and I, were like, whoa, this is awesome. Her third paycheck had a comma in it. And so for me, I'm like, okay, I'm all in. This is amazing. An area manager at the second level of the company, your business is willable, which is a unique thing that Arbonne offers to consultants. And so if something happened to Tony or I, unfortunately, the business would still pass on, like the family would still get checks, which is just crazy to think about. Regional vice president, the third level of the company. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's anywhere from, I would say, $5,000 to maybe $13,000 on average per month. Plus you get the Mercedes, which is a pretty cool thing. You get a car bonus that goes towards the Mercedes, the white Mercedes. And so we're on our second car right now. Like, we don't have two cars, but we're on our second car, and Tony's already got sights on getting the big old wagon, but I think we're a little bit away from that. So, but anyways, regional vice president, that's life-changing money. That's income replacement. It's, could be job replacement money. And so anyways, it was, you have some choices at regional vice president. If there's you want to have some project for the house, if you want to go on vacation, like, at that money, you were like, whoa, we can actually do some stuff with this. I became, like, at regional vice president, I remember when she went region, I bought those Beats headphones, and those were like $300. And I remember in the middle of last year, we moved into a new home, and I lost my headphones. And Tony goes, well, just buy another one. And at that, I'm like, whoa, that's just weird. Like, because we'd always be, every single expense, we'd be like, hey, can I get this? And the fact that we could make that choice, like, yeah, just go ahead and get another one. Like, oh, okay. So that's like regional vice president money. Like, oh, okay, you have choices. And then the top is MVP. So we've been MVP for almost 2 years now. Is that right? Yeah, almost 2 years. April 2017 will be 2 years, which is insane. Is that right? Hold on. I'm sorry. I can't even remember. 14. Yeah. 2 years. So anyways, we're both home now, which is amazing. Getting to the top of the company is obviously a goal for a lot of people. The fact that we did it, I say we, Tony's name was on the business, but we technically were a partnership that first year and still are now. To be able to do it in a year was pretty amazing. And obviously there's a lot of other perks to being a national vice president. You still get the car bonus. You get a little bit more of a bonus than you do as a regional vice president. And then you get, there's a couple different trainings that you get to go to. One of them is in Hawaii in January. So we unfortunately have to go to Wailea in January for a week for training. And then also they do an MVP forum in Southern California in July, it's training. It's not all just like, hey, they're just hanging out. It is training, but you do get some fun. So anyways, there are a lot of perks. I'll kind of wrap it up there. And then if people have any questions, I'm more than happy to take questions. But the fact that we can build a business around our family and not the other way around, not like work our family time around work time, is pretty incredible. The fact that my daily routine is I take my son to school. Tony takes our daughter to school because they go to two separate places right now. I go to the gym, and then I'm networking at the gym. I got my Arbonne shaker. I got Arbonne shirts, whatever. I have people every single day that are asking me what that logo is. And so even if I'm not getting a new teammate, I'm just getting people that are curious and interested. And then I come home and I work with Tony. We work for a couple hours, whether we write trainings, whether we're contacting people. We're still, even though we're at the top of the company, every single day we're contacting new people. We have our list, our dream team list of people that we want to invite or, share the business with, and we're updating that all the time. And so we're not stopping. We've got to the top, but we're not stopping. When our friend Kim Furman went Nation in October, Tony would agree with me. That was more rewarding than when Tony went Nation. To be able to help someone, to see someone else follow your training and follow you and get to a level that they wanted to get to was very inspiring and very encouraging and rewarding. And so we love sharing this business with people. We love to educate. We're talking to people all the time. Try not to vomit Arbonne on them, but we're casual in the way that we approach certain people. And but it's something that we wish everybody could have. The fact that you can earn a residual income with time leverage. We're going to keep getting paid and paid and paid off of people that we signed up 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it is. And, the fact that I'm able to do whatever I can with my kids, I'm coaching, I'm helping our kids with homework, which, is not that exciting, but I'm glad I'm able to do it because in my old job, I wouldn't be able to. So I'm forever grateful for this company. I'm forever grateful for my wife saying yes. And I'm excited too because Arbonne is really just getting started. There's a lot of network marketing companies that are in many, many countries. Arbonne on November 8th just went into their 7th in Taiwan, and we had people in our upline that were there in Taiwan. We have a few friends that we've met over the last year who have family in Taiwan, and they've actually signed up under us. And so we're excited to build. The fact that we get to build a global business from our home is pretty unique and pretty cool. And so, like I said earlier, it's 1% brand awareness. The company is in double-digit growth. It's growing every single year. Last year, they saw the most NVPs promote in 1 year in the company's history. There were 50 people that promoted to MVP in 2015, and so it's growing, and we are obviously I could talk forever about stats and stuff like that, but the fact that you get to build your own business, you get to be your own boss, and I think the key for Tony and I is we get to build our business around our family's life, and not the other way around is very important to us. So I'll kind of stop there before I start sniffing more. But I don't, one thing I'll just leave everyone with is if you keep doing what you're doing for the next 5 years, are you going to be happy? Are you going to be satisfied? Something to think about. I think that's a common question in Arbonne is if you keep doing what you're doing, is this something that you're going to be satisfied with doing, for the rest of your life? And for me as an administrator, I tried it. I did 3 years. I didn't see myself doing it forever. And honestly, without Arbonne, I'd still be there. I'd be miserable going to work. And so I am forever grateful for my wife and for this company.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ryan. We appreciate it. Obviously, your passion, comes through, and the power of this opportunity in a short period of time to make that impact on you and your family is just enormous. And that's what I got from the kind of I think that SoundCloud that I heard you do.
Okay.
I kind of got linked into you. And but we really, obviously appreciate that. And I loved how you said the 4 beliefs, because we talk about, kind of the 4 parts, but
right.
Four beliefs is, I think, a great way, to put that. I wonder if you do me a favor, and I'm going to put you on the spot.
That's fine.
Just kind of share, 45 seconds of, what's ahead for you guys over the next 5 years. What's your, vision out, over the foreseeable future for you guys?
For the business, or just for the
Yeah, kind of from the business, but I mean, that always comes into, your personal goals. So whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, the first thing I thought of is I was thinking of the business, and we have a couple people that we've sat down. We're in a unique situation. So we're in ENVP with one NVP and technically one region right now. We lost a couple regions. So Tony's first year, she became a region, and then she had 3 direct regions, like within a year, which is crazy. One of them lost their region. One of them's no longer doing the business. And then the other one was Kim, who now became a national vice president. But we're excited to promote out more nations. We have a couple people that we think can do it in 2017. And so that's something that we're really focusing on. And I'm also, those people who we're talking to, I'm focused on their husbands, and they're the males in their success line on their teams as far as talking to them. I've done many phone calls with husbands whose wives started the business just to kind of like talk them down. Their wives aren't crazy. But so like that's from a business. I mean, personally, Tony and I the last 3 years for us, from being 2 teachers who were in severe debt to now being able to make choices, we're like, we're very excited for the future. But we're excited. We want to build our business. We want to share this opportunity with more people, as many people as possible. So that was kind of a generic answer, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you. And, I mean, that's, I think, a big part of what keeps people going. And, Dinah and I are growing our business, and we don't ever plan to stop. I mean, it's, why would you stop? I don't understand people that do, quite honestly, but, there's lots of things that come into play for people. But for us, it's, how many people do you want to touch in your life,
Exactly.
And give them an opportunity that's better than what, they're doing, and you mentioned that earlier. And one of the, about the 5-year lookout, or if you're doing the exact same thing, and what I say to folks is, if you don't already have a plan that can get you to a 6-figure income and give you the time freedom that you just, talked about, then, you need to be taking a look at this.
Absolutely.
To begin with. So
we even say, Tony and I, we say, if we won the lotto or Powerball, we'd still do Arbonne.
Yeah.
Like it's fun. It's awesome. We're, we love this business, and
the people
that have been impacted by us just sharing the business with them is so awesome to see.
Yeah. Yeah, great. If you would like to pose a question to Ryan or have him talk about something else, if you would just unmute yourself. I didn't want to unmute everybody and get a lot of background noise, but if you can unmute yourself, and we'll give it a second. But thanks again, Ryan. I appreciate it.
No problem.
By the way, while we're waiting for someone to pipe up, if they will, I am going to post this on Risoli Nation's page. Also LA Connect, but for everyone out there that's not tied to those Facebook pages, you can always go to Claire's YouTube channel, and it will be on there. Now, it might not be in there. It takes a while to load and so forth, and for me to get it over there, but it might not be there till tomorrow morning, but it will be on Claire's YouTube, and you can go back and check some of the other great guests that we've had, and replay it and listen again and again. So thanks again. Any questions for Ryan? If not, let me just say thanks again, Ryan. Appreciate you doing this. I would like to kind of have you back perhaps, in a few months. Talk about the partnership, and how the S Corp and how you did that, and put some light on that, because we're seeing more and more couples, and I think it's a great way for them to do it and understand how that works. And for everybody else out there, tune in next week. We have a young man by the name of Jordan Nussbaum. Jordan is another guy that is going to do as much as he wants to do in this business. His desire to move forward is the only thing that could possibly hold him back. He's got it together, and he will share next week. A younger man in his early 20s, and totally different perspective again. So tune in, same bat time, same bat channel next week at 6 o'clock. And with that, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks again for being with us. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Peter. Take care, everyone.
Good night now.